What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. We're back with another video, and I'm so happy to bring it to you guys at home. We got a great video on deck, man. I think we got something very interesting that we've never done on this channel before. Some of you may know about it, some of you may not. Alright guys, so what we're going to do today is we're going to dye some AP solid streakers. And for those who are unfamiliar, a solid marker is a solidified paint stick encapsulated in a plastic tube with a little very technical here, right? With a little winder here, so you can go ahead and get more stick coming out of the marker. So they're really good for like rough surfaces, wet surfaces, depending on the wet surface, of course. But relatively wet surface, greasy surfaces, they work really well. Very popular with graffiti artists. They can be split. They can be used in a variety of circumstances. So what I want to do today is actually immerse them in some dye and change the color of them to create your own custom color combinations. Now, we've been using a lot of this purple dyes, and I have a lot of it on deck, so that's what we're going to use today. But you can use Flowpen Ink. There's a very popular ink right here, so you can get this in red, blue, yellow, whatever your heart's desire. You can get them, mix them up, make your own custom color combinations, and yes, even after you dye them, you can make split streakers with them. So there's even more possibilities with this. So anyways, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and unwind this right here. It takes like a couple hundred turns. It takes a bit. Eventually you get to a point where you can just go ahead and pull it out, but you do got to be careful. And as you can see, I'm wearing gloves. You probably don't want to do this with your bare hands. Oh, butterfingers. Hold on one second. Okay, so once you've retrieved the solidified paint stick, as you can see here, it's right like that. It's just like a greasy paint stick. That's all it is. Sometimes this little plastic base will come out with it, so you'll want to carefully pull it off. Sometimes you can't help but break it off. Sometimes it comes off really cleanly. It really doesn't matter. As long as it pushes it up out of the marker, that's all good. So what you want to do is put this back in so you don't lose it. And it's got a couple little register like grooves in it. So just kind of find out where it sits and, just try to get it in there as cleanly as possible. There you go. Wind it back down, and that way you will not lose it. Because if you do lose it, well, it's just not going to work out very well for you. That's for sure. Now, let's go ahead and immerse it in some dye ink. And what I got here today is a little variety of different stuff. We got some pen ink, the ball pen fluid. We got some Steve Garvey. We got some flow pen. Now, this I think is black. I thought I grabbed purple, but it's actually black, so we definitely won't use that. I got my homemade shellac ink that I showed you guys how to make on Instagram. Just made this with some shellac, some methyl violet, and some alcohol. So very easy to make as well, too. Now, I do actually have a bag right here ready to go. We try to think ahead with this stuff. Sometimes we do. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, you'll definitely want to at least double bag it when you do this. And as you can see right here, this one's already leaking a little bit. So don't do this on your mom's couch. Don't do it in your dad's car. Don't do it on the kitchen table. Make sure you do this somewhere outside and safe where you don't run into trouble. So since I already have the dye ink in here, we'll go ahead and pretend like I'm pouring some in. So it'll be like, okay, we put in the Steve Garvey. Boop, 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 boop. You'll want to put in enough ink to make sure that you fully immerse the paint stick, right? Because you want to make sure it's getting covered all around. You could also split it, pre-split it, and dye it as well too. That way, when you make your splits, you get perfect immersion on all sides of the marker. So go ahead and we'll just drop it in like that. It's as easy as that. You just drop it right in there. And, whatever you put it in, it doesn't really matter. The point is to make sure that the marker is fully immersed in the ink fluid. Now, what you need to do is wait next. Just go ahead and wait. And I would say I'd say at least 48 hours to give a good soak in this. Now, you can do a 24-hour soak, but it's not going to be quite as vibrant as an ink. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you give it a good soak. So obviously, we can't use this one today. But like a good cooking show, I have one already ready. Check it out right there. So this was a white streaker that I turned into a purple streaker. But as you can see, it's not like the regular purple ArtPrimo streaker. It's more like it's almost on the verge of periwinkle, really. It's a very nice shade of purple. Here, let me show you guys right here. We'll do a quick little right with it. Look at that. So it's almost like a pastel violet or something like that, And so, like I said, you could use red, blue, pink, whatever. Get all those custom color combinations that just are not available with the standard streaker. So let's go ahead and get this sealed up. Make sure it's very well sealed. You don't want to have any extra air in there or anything like that. Now, one question I'm sure a lot of you guys are having is, what about the leftover dye ink that you have in here? you can just go ahead and throw that in your mop. So if you got a nice little mop going, just go ahead and add it to it. It's good to go. You know, so waste not. Was it waste not, want not? You know, you don't want to waste it. Definitely use it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this sealed. We'll let this soak, and we'll go ahead and use the one that I have pre-made. That way you guys can get a feel for what it's like. As you can see, this one is already kind of leaking, so, and I'm not on my mom's couch. So I'll just go ahead and shove it in here, inside this little yellow tub. We'll check on it in a few days. Now, I actually already have a silver in there, a silver AP streaker. It's already been in there for 24 hours, so we'll let it go for like 3 days and see what happens. I know a lot of you guys want to see what happens to the silver, so we will definitely revisit that in a future video. But in the meantime, why don't we go ahead and take this purple, beautiful color, and see how it writes. All right, let's go ahead and test it out first on our grilled wall. As you can see, we actually already have some tags on here. Been writing cops. I thought it was kind of funny. Let's do another cops tag. I think someone already writes that actually, but you know, it's a little ironic humor, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see, it definitely covers over the grilled surface really well. Now this does have the dye impregnated into the marker, so if it did get buffed, you should get a little bit of bleed through, although this whole thing, if somebody tried to buff it with like a paint over buff, it would, if you did a chemical buff on this, it would be a total nightmare. Your best bet would be to just cover this in black paint and call it a day. But as you can see, it writes really nice. Let's go ahead and do another quick tag here. It's extremely smooth. In fact, I would say it's even more butter than before. It's very, it's like slightly melted butter. That's the best way I can describe it. Fantastic stuff. Let me write biscuit. Shut up, the biscuit. Yes, and I purposely misspell it. Oh man, I took her to the vet and I spelled her name like that and they tried to correct me and I was like, no, that's correct. You gotta spell it like that. This is our bleeding surface for those of you guys who are not familiar with it. What we like to do is do a bunch of tags on this and then buff over it after, you know, a certain period of time and see exactly how these different types of inks and markers are going to react. As you can see, we've already tagged on here with it right here. So we got an example of it. The color and tone of it is just gorgeous. I mean, it's like gorgeous, bloody gorgeous. I mean, it's like a, you know, it's like that light purple, but you still get a little bit of the white pumping through there as well. I think it makes a fantastic marker. And in fact, in the future, we should probably try it with the red. I think you guys would really enjoy it. But the flow is just fantastic. It's very, very buttery. Of course, if you advance it to get the stick out, it's very buttery. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. Let's do a couple quick more tags. Let's see here. Let's hit up Real 1. Very nice. As you can see, smooth as a groove, baby. All right, guys, let's go ahead and close out to the last part of the test. This is my electrical box simulator or any type of municipal piece of equipment that you would see in a city, you know, a big metal box of some sort, you know, that you would most likely put your nickname on, you know. So often they're buffed out with these, like, you know, like ugly green colors, you know, maybe like a gray or something like that. But I like the tone of the green, so we're using that right now. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like on this surface. Okay, so up first we're going to hit up, let's see, Lona. Shout out to Lona. On this surface, you can really see the white and the purple mixing together right there. And it almost has like a, what do the people in fashion call it? An ombre, right? It looks like an ombre almost, which is pretty cool. In fact, ombre is someone who sent me a bunch of stickers. So let's do this. Wow, look at that. You see the white and purple going through here. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ombre real quick. Actually, where's it at? He sent me this little canvas right here. Thank you very much, homie. Much appreciated. Okay, so let's do one more tag. I gotta stand on my stool because my short Cuban legs here. Hit up Theo. Shout out to Theo. Do a little cloud over it. I don't know if clouds are in style anymore, but I like to do little clouds over stuff. And we'll do one more cool. Shout out to Cool. I hit this name up a lot. Very, very cool. So as you can see, as you twist it around, you will get different colors going through it. Sometimes you get a little bit of purple, sometimes you get a little bit of white, sometimes you get a little bit of a mix between the two. You just never know what you're gonna get, you know, because it'll seep through in different ways. That's why I would actually recommend maybe splitting it and then dyeing it, because you'll get a very nice cut through the middle. Or if you want to split it, you'll get more opportunities with you right there as well. So bottom line, I think you guys should definitely do it, and we should definitely look at what happens to the silver one that's already in the mix right now in a future video. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was informative and showed you guys, you know, a little something different that we haven't done before, and maybe inspired you to go out there and try something yourself. So definitely comment below if you like the video, if you have any suggestions, or if you've tried this before, or if you just want to shoot the breeze, say what's up to us. We definitely like to read the comments and see what's going on with you guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a great year so far, and hopefully we keep it going till the end of the year. Thank you very much. Peace.